All right, click the links to join the channel here over at Subscribestar, now over at Odyssey. So Margot Robbie, exploring degeneracy, stunning and brave. SJWs, please turn off the video so I don't have to read your long passive-aggressive comment about going outside and touching grass. Having 300-pound emo teenagers whine at me is just more than I'm in the mood for today. And trigger warning, we're gonna dig deep into Hollywood degeneracy here, and there's 3 graphic scenes, so not safe for work, not safe for sensitive ears. So tune out now if you don't just want to hurl all over your keyboard. But Margot Robbie is doing her part for Sodom and Gomorrah, exploring queer degeneracy with satanic blood, sex, magic, and sodomy. So, I mean, not safe for tender ears, unfortunately. Honestly, like even talking about this stuff, I get secondhand embarrassment. This, it's like you don't have to make a movie about everything you do in the bedroom. No, you understand. It's stunning and brave. No, I mean, most people are doing this very similar things. You just you don't like, you just don't need to film every single thing and make a movie about every single thing. It's like, no, but the alternative is to tell a coherent, good story. Yeah, just a classic story. Can you do that? And they go, no, because that's national. That's far right. That's a far right wing dog whistle. And that's what a lot of this stuff is all about. We're going to get into this in a very long video, which honestly, the odds of it making it on YouTube are pretty slim. So this movie has a few left-hand path degeneracy themes, same-sex stuff, and graveyard desecration, and then blood, sex, magic. I feel like Joe Bob Briggs was covering just like current filth movies. So the short, I mean, it's like filthy for like even people who have got a pretty good tolerance. So the short version is it's Hollywood types who are trying to be edgy just for the sake of being edgy, and because they don't know how to write a good story, and that everything a good story stands for are the things that they abhor. Classic storytelling, nationalism, tribalism, your family. It's like, no. We have to put, everything has to be the Bolshevik found family concept. So the deal with these woke films is that they're not in addition to more classical stories. Woke is every story, except it depends on how you look at it. You can make a movie just with Black, Asian, Latin as essential characters in the theme, but you don't get movies with just us in the themes. It's kind of the blank spot on the map, where even if they take a Polish story for the video game and like, yeah, we're gonna diversify the heck out of this story. It's like, but they are the marginalized and oppressed Slavic people. It's like you think you'd respect that and let them have something for themselves. No, we're just gonna swap them out. Oh, okay. So these movies just don't get made. They won't even get storyboarded or talked around because they know that there won't be any funding for a pro-European or even very rarely a pro-Christian movie. People have been so brainwashed into self-censorship that they just accept this hatred because they feel they can't do anything about it. And the related issue is the Larry Fink and the others who are funding a lot of this stuff, pushing this institutional investors, pushing the diversity, equity and something. They're running out of money because obviously, like, this stuff is, if you've been following Hollywood, at least the genre, the action adventure superhero / movie, the Warner Brothers and Disney, what they're putting out, it's like, you notice a lot of these movies are losing money, and they're losing like $50 million here, $200 million there. That eventually adds up to, what Disney lose last year? $1 billion. Well, you can't do that forever. So you're seeing it with some of the worst companies in the terms of wokeness, like Twitch, that was infested with top-heavy human resources, cat ladies types, the HR / the whatever they call those offices of diversity, which are completely useless. Like, they're way, way overloaded with those people that they're paying, crazy salaries for. And you go, so do you make the company a better working environment, better experience? Do you make the company more profitable? No, they actually make the company lose money, but they're doing it because this is a religion. Bolshevism is their religion. Nature abhors, a human psyche, I guess, abhors a vacuum. You get rid of religion, Christianity or whatever, and you just replace it with this. It's like, yeah, people have to have something to believe in. It's amazing how the whole thing was presented as a fait accompli. It's just accepted that in the corporate and media world, with the woke DIE stuff, they just all jumped on board with affirmative action for Mary Sue's, and they all kind of pat themselves on the back as if they're doing something. It's like, yeah, you're making worse movies. And on a related note, it shows you the competency crisis which you're just starting to see now. I mean, it's been, it's been gearing up, but recently it's just took another step upward with some stuff going on with the airplanes, the air industry. For Hollywood, it results in stupid movies that lose money. But if you're a company that builds airplanes, bridges, the critical infrastructure has a functioning civilization site. Like, was it Flint? Was that Flint, Michigan or something? They got like a substandard water treatment system or something. And it's been that way for like 10 years or 20 years. Everyone just has to buy a bottle of water. You go, oh, who's the city council? Who's running this city? And you're like, okay. No, it's somehow the Republicans' fault. It's at the federal level. It's like they said that like, so Obama, and it was under Obama, and somehow you just kind of didn't know who to blame under Obama. Anyway. The thing is, for Hollywood, it's done movies, but for critical infrastructure, the company's training and pilots kind of thing, then the results are a bit different, and you're starting to see that happen. Note to self, if you have to go somewhere, drive. It's 2 states away. Yeah, just pack a tent and figure out a camping spot, and you're probably going to want to drive. Back in the old days, man, that was there was airfare, or airlines, of course. We're not that old, but like people drove more to see family, way more when I was a kid. Station wagons were a thing for a reason. Common to hop in a car and drive, across the state of California, like a full day, just to visit family. It's like now, oh, I can see him on Facebook. It's not the same, dude. It's not the same. And that's so. Anyway, a lot of this stuff is sad. That's why I just can't take the SJW's comments. It's just the cherry on the cyanide cake. So the thing is, it happens so slowly that people just learn to accept pilot error and plane crashes, because as long as it meets diverse hiring quotas, that's all that matters. Anyway, movies like this, I feel like Margot Robbie doesn't know that she's a puppet. Maybe she thinks she's cutting edge with graphic, cringy sex scenes. It's just sad to me. It seems like it's similar to using action scenes when the plot in a movie is light. And for some movies and shows, you sign up for that. Like, remember The Fall Guy? They had a big 4x4 pickup truck that would actually do insane jumps. It's like, okay, well, that's part of the movie. You're going to see this. You're going to see them try to jump a car in a pickup truck in every movie. And the cool thing about that is, like, the truck had such good suspension and huge tires that they actually didn't break the truck in half. Where the Dukes of Hazzard, they had I don't know what that was, a Oldsmobile, a Plymouth, I don't even remember. Every time cars are not meant to jump, but trucks have got tires, so they would go through cars and just break those things in half. It was kind of brutal to watch, because you look back and like, so those are probably $200,000 collector cars now in like the life of the show. Yeah, we destroyed 50 of them. Anyway, so what they're doing here is to try to use gross graveyard sex scenes to fool the audience that they're making high art. Putting was it the sink or the toilet on the wall, whenever the hell he was doing that. But it's putting a crucifix in yellow food coloring. It's like, look how stunning and brave I am. I'm like, yeah, why don't you use another religious symbol, huh? Stone Toss covered that one too. But it's current year in Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. And cover your ears, I'm going to describe this sex scene, which is just, it's stupid, it's gross, it's secondhand embarrassment. It's a guy helping a woman get a flood of neurochemicals via his tongue at the time that you would not be doing that. There's a 28-day cycle, right? So there's a few days during that time that you just don't have to do that kind of stuff. But this is a movie and it's Hollywood. Look how edgy we are. It's like, yeah, I mean, just like I said, you don't need to film it's just not the 1950s. It's just embarrassing. It's just stupid. It's not touch grass, Chad. And we're really going out on the edge. It's cringe. You're not doing anything. It's like, it's current year. The stuff, like, everything is on the table now. I mean, this is, I'll say Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0 and not that other period of time that might trigger the algorithm. Anyway, so you ask, why exactly do you need those kind of scenes in movies? Because when you look at all three of the scenes, they look like satanic LARPing more than anything else. It's a lot of energy of Maria Abramovic and all that kind of, like, live action role playing is what it's just silly. It's wealthy people who are bored and they've got a little pharmaceutical help on the side. But, like, do they really believe all this stuff? Yeah, I hope not, though. I mean, as news comes out on the East Coast, you never know. But it's years too late to be anything other than silly. It's trying to be edgy, but it's got the Coca-Cola stamp of approval. Where in current year, Antifa, BLM, the marches are funded by Wells Fargo Bank or Chase Bank with what was that, the Occupy Wall Street, and then they show that, and then a couple years later, it's like a pride march funded by Bank of America. And you look at these groups like, how did you let yourself get so subverted? Like, you guys were the left wing. At one time, you're supposed to be against the corporate machine. And what happened? Like, well, the guy came to my house with a briefcase full of money. Oh, well, I guess it was just that easy. So it's the meme of Stone Toss with a tug of war, but all the left-wing corporate media and the right-wing con ops, they're all on one side. And we, the strawman version of their Hugo Boss, are on the other side. Everything, they have to make us an existential threat, so they steelman us. Anyone who disagrees with them, even the normal soccer mom, has to be literally wanting to deny their existence. They use that phrase a lot. It's like, we're not the most dangerous people to you, and I know they know that. Anyway, so what is edgy art is what doesn't get made. A great classic story about some beautiful blonde people who at the end get married, have kids, and grow the tribe. That's over target for Hollywood, and it doesn't get made because it's a right-wing dog whistle. Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Nationalism, tribalism, storytelling, classic storytelling, those are all good things. It's just a matter of perspective. If it's not Hollywood globalist propaganda, it's just not in Hollywood. Hollywood is all propaganda, and they boiled the frog so slowly that not enough people noticed. Gee, every single movie has got globalist themes, which seem to have this weird narrative that all groups other than European ones can make movies and tell stories about their tribe. That's funded and encouraged, but for people like you, those movies are missing. Doesn't that start to activate the almonds? And it upsets me that not enough people are asking for movies for us to represent us in a positive light. They just passively accept this slow brainwashing. So how do I say this? When the media, corporations, governments are all teamed up to direct hatred at your group of people, you're on the stage of a step-by-step process that is bad now and leads to a very bad place, and it's better to start pushing back against this right now while you can. And the other thing I was thinking about is where movies are right now with their degeneracy, and then outright prawn. Because you can look at things now and just extrapolate into the future, because eventually those two lines are going to meet where you're going to have just full adult scenes in regular movies. We'll call it R+, and people will just slowly accept it because the power of the slippery slope is that amazing. Like, oh, instead of like Basic Instinct scene, I was thinking about this last night. There's one scene in Basic Instinct where the sidekick girl and the main guy have a very brief 1-minute sex scene, and in the future you're just going to have movies with actors hired who are comfortable doing it, and it's just going to be, they're just going to really do it. And it's like, oh, that's just a slippery slope. Yeah, I mean, what was it, Tesla, the quote about or Nietzsche, I don't know, the quote about the man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. It's like, yeah, look at what they're doing right now to, those under the age of consent. And like, what's on the future with this slippery slope, with the way they've set it up, where, if kids can consent to this permanent treatment plan, what else can they consent to? Yeah, it's all going to happen. Nobody's going to do anything, because if we don't do anything about what's going on right now, then they can do anything. It's like they'll end up Soylent Greening people. And you go, that's ridiculous. Oh, I mean, in Canada, they have I don't know if you saw that commercial in Canada. It's the only commercial where a blonde woman was the center of attention because they were deleting her at the end. It's like they're doing that in Canada. The next step is, well, that's a waste of protein. That's valuable protein that we can recycle. Oh, yeah, why not? Yeah, we got to save the environment. Oh, yeah, it's absolutely going to happen. To Serve Man, cookbook, Soylent Green, yeah, that's on the table. And the thing is, you're hearing this, you know it's not crazy. All this stuff is not crazy. It's like, just write the worst nightmare scenario you can write and just predict it for the future. It's like, oh, yeah, it's 15 years off. Anyway, sort of a weird video. Actually, this is the short version. The long version is going to go up on Odyssey and Subscribe Star. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys all next episode.